Debbie, we had a wonderful time talking to performers, many of whom came up through the ranks of competition aerobatics. There's two separate worlds, though, and two separate mindsets when you look at the quote-unquote airshow aerobatic world and the competition aerobatic world, since you've got feet firmly planted in both. Can you talk first about the psychology of flying an airshow versus the psychology of flying competition aerobatics?
Well, I think the psychology, probably from a pilot standpoint, is very similar. We are very concentrated on what we're about to do. It takes a lot of practice and preparation to do an air show and a contest or a competition flight. So I think from a pilot standpoint and a preparation to the actual sequence, it's about the same. Now, there's a little difference in thought process of the accuracy and the way that we do the performance. Whereas competition, it's a very tight, regimented area of space and what we call our box that we have to perform in, and the angles in which we have to maintain in that area. Whereas the air show is a little less stringent on angles, lines. It's just that you don't cross a certain deadline to the crowd, and that you can't aim at the crowd in an air show. The thought process there as far as precision accuracy is a little bit different. It's a much more relaxed environment for me in air shows, whereas competition is a much more serious and strict, and I'm thinking about more of the accuracies and what the judges are going to see and hopefully not see if there's a mistake. The competition is a lot more work to me. It's much more strain and stress, but it's a very rewarding environment to where if you win, it's yourself against perfection, and it's not really one against the other. An air show isn't one against another either. You're performing, you're trying to entertain, a little more relaxed environment and an entertainment environment. And I like to encourage women and kids and little girls that they can do what I do, and it's just a matter of to follow your dreams. You can do anything you want to do. And that's what I try to do for air shows.
Cirrus Design's Vision SJ50 single-engine personal jet offers exceptional fuel efficiency, flexible seating for up to 7, advanced avionics, and all the Cirrus safety features you expect, including the Cirrus airframe parachute system. With its V-tail design, the Cirrus Vision is technologically advanced, yet engineered to be simple to fly, to allow owner pilots more lifestyle pursuits than any other personal aircraft. Learn more about the Vision SJ50 at cirrusdesign.com.
What advice would you give to the folks out in the general aviation community who may look at competition and decide that that's something they'd like to pursue? How do you get involved in competition aerobatics?
Oh, you show up. I mean, basically, there are lots of schools, there are lots of people that teach aerobatics. I try to lead people into competition because it's an avenue to use what you've learned, and it's an avenue to learn more and to progress in your education of aerobatics and controlling the airplane and making the airplane do what you want it to do. So competition pilots love to have more competition pilots there. And it's not that we're all that competitive. I am. You don't have to be like me. It's the people, and it's all about the people. That's what really brings a lot of us back to the contest realm, is just because of our friends and the camaraderie that we have in the competition world. The same is true of the airshow world. It's hard to be good in both venues for a long time.
For the general aviation community who, many of us have seen an air show, but for those who have never been to a competition, why should a general aviation pilot go to a competition, and what should they look for at a competition versus what they may have seen from an air show performance?
Well, a lot of air show things are tumbles, low level, how close can you get to the ground. It's entertainment. Whereas the competition is a cube of airspace, it's very precision oriented, vertical lines, 45-degree lines, rolls are the rolls in the middle of lines. It's like any other gymnastics or skating. There's a lot of precision and detail to it, and if you're sitting there and you learn what the judges are looking for, You'll go to an air show and you'll go, oh, well, that isn't really vertical, or oh, that really wasn't a perfect one-turn roll or one-turn spin. So they're two totally different types of flying. They're all aerobatics, but there's much more precision, such as the other skating, gymnastics type flying.
The beauty of the Release 9 system architecture is that you have two fully redundant integrated flight displays. Each has access to all the systems and data. Providing full redundancy and eliminating traditional reversionary modes, Release 9 allows either display to be configured as the PFD. Now your failure modes are much more manageable because you can continue to fly with the same familiar display symbology without the need to relearn composite modes you don't typically fly with. Avidyne's Integra Release 9 is truly the next generation in fully integrated flight deck technology.
Is it better to have been somebody who started out in competition working their way into air shows, or somebody who started out aspired to and performed air shows to work their way into competition?
Well, I think your reason to be in each is could be different, but I think obviously competition has a building block, and you can start at a low level, a beginning level, and then work your way up into a higher performance airplane, higher performance act. Competition also teaches you discipline. You have to have that discipline to control the airplane and the discipline to control yourself during any performance. And that's required, and it's a must in competition. And I think learning it in competition then transfers over to the air show, and you have to have that discipline to do air shows. You know, competition, there really is no monetary gain. Most of the money goes out of your pocket. Whereas air shows, people get into that to try to sometimes make a living, sometimes just help pay for some of the expenses. In my case, is to promote women, is to show that even a little gray-haired old lady can do this sport. And so you can do anything you want to do. And that's my big reason to do air shows and to promote aviation.